And himself, Jason Momoa, is here. I know. I'm just back there. I have seen Aquaman. I loved it. Don't want to spoil it for you, but there is a rather sad ending when he chokes to death on a plastic bag. Also on the show, we've got Strictly Judge Dame Darcey Bussell. Now, on Strictly, of course, she's already got her eye out for people who love dancing and are likely to be available next year. Let's get some guests on! Later, we'll have music from my favourite girl group, Little Mix. But first, he's one of the country's most loved comics, and he's back touring the nation with his latest show. It's always a pleasure to welcome back the hilarious Bill Bailey! Yes. She's our most famous ballerina and a fan favourite on City Come Dancing. Here to talk about her beautiful new book, Evolve, it is Dame Darcey Bussell. Wow. Work it. Yeah. Hello, darling. Lovely to see you. Good to see you. And he rose to fame as Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones and is now starring as DC's underwater superhero Aquaman. Please welcome the mighty Jason Momoa! There you go. Oh. Welcome all. I don't think Darcey's ever looked more feminine. Now, Aquaman...
What? Jason, you can call me Jason.
Can I? OK, Jason. Because looking at yourself and Bill, I sort of think it's a shame Aquaman's finished filming, because I don't think... You would be quite good as Aquaman's dad.
Yes. I think so, yeah. This is you in a few years.
Yes!
Yeah. Sort of like an older Aquaman. Yeah, I don't get in the water so much these days.
No, we found a picture, and it looks like you're auditioning for Aquaman or Aquadad.
Oh,
there you are. What is that?
That's a mace. It's a ceremonial thing that's used for ceremonies, you know, and it was when I received my honorary doctorate from the University of Bath.
Hello.
Yes. Hello, Dr. Bailey, from now on, please.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the thing. They carry it around. See, look, I'm wearing a hat. It's real.
That's what we were talking about. We were just talking about that thing. But talking of awards, Jason, you were sitting beside a Dame Darcey Bussell. Yes.
I don't know what are you doing?
Hey, what are you doing?
Yeah. Actually, what do you get? Do you get, like, a ribbon or something?
I get two medals.
Medals?
Yes. So,
wow.
yeah, no, you get one that attaches to your waist, and then the other one, which is the sort of...
It's like a tag.
Yeah. It's got a red bow and, yes, one's a big kind of cross. It's really cool.
Yeah, because the thing is, when you rock up to... Now, I'm not sure. When you rock up to get these awards, you don't know who's going to give it to you.
No idea. So
you can't...
Who gave it to you?
The Queen.
Oh. Yes,
I know.
It was an A-list day. Was in Canada Rock. Here you are.
I've done that often.
There you are, the Queen. And who else was there? Were you the most famous person there?
No, I have to say I was so excited because just two people in front of me was Paul McCartney.
Ooh, hang on.
It's like another Queen.
Wait a minute. Hold the bus. He's a Sir already. What's he getting?
He got that extra thing. I don't know what it is. When somebody dies...
Sir Plus?
It's like a part of a club.
Emperor of the universe.
It's not a club, but somebody has to die before you get introduced.
He killed someone and got a prize.
Was it like a loyalty card or something?
I didn't get a chance to ask him, you see.
Oh, yeah.
I should have asked
really
him.
Paying attention on the day. Well done, Darcey.
I was slightly overwhelmed.
But now... and Jason, have you won any honours? You must have won something along the way.
I've won nothing.
Oh, stop it.
I have never, ever won anything. I'm pretty... No! But I'm so... No, it's good, actually, because if you ever... I can't gamble. If you want to win, just do the opposite of what I do. So my friends will bet down on something and I'll never win. I never, ever win.
Is that true?
It's very positive.
But like when you left high school, were you voted, you know, boy most likely to do something?
No.
No.
I think I got... This is horrible. I can't believe I'm saying this. I think I got dude with the best hair or something like that.
See?
So,
you won an award.
Yeah, that's where...
Yeah.
Come on, that's all.
So I'm killing that.
Yeah. Rocking it.
Yeah, still winning.
Still
winning.
winning.
Yeah. And,
You've got time on your hands.
Yeah, well, there you go.
and ladies and gentlemen, can we just say how pleased we are that Bill's here at all? Because there was a time when you were dead.
That's right.
What?
Yes. I know. I'm looking a lot better now. Yeah, I know, it's right.
There.
No, well, this is... I'm sure that this is referring to the fact that I was mistakenly reported as dead on the BBC website.
Well, like the BBC, not
Yes.
even like not.
I know, it was a BBC website, and it just said tributes pouring in for actor and comedian, musician Bill Bailey, who has died at the age of 52, which is really annoying because they got the age wrong, firstly. I was so annoyed about that. And they used a weird photo as well. I was thinking,
Well, no,
is this the photo?
you tweeted
Oh,
this.
no!
I mean, what is that?
I think that is perfect for an obituary. That says this sucks.
No, you see.
Yeah, that says sad, isn't it?
It's sad, dying, yeah, but it was so annoying. It was a bit of a shock to read that in the morning on Twitter. And what happened was that the actual story was that there was a DJ in Kentucky called Bill Bailey who died, and someone on the BBC was watching the news. It was like, I think what happened was it was like middle of the night, and they saw Bill Bailey died, and panicked and put Bill Bailey died and put a photograph up, and then realised it wasn't me, and then panicked again and tried to delete it. By which time someone had taken a screenshot already and posted it on Twitter. And the reaction was, I woke up in the morning, it said, Bill Bailey, dead, 52. And then my tour manager, who was in the hotel, he phoned me and he said, are you all right? Which was very sweet, but, you know, well, I'm not dead, so I'm a lot better than dead. I'm here.
Yeah, there will be a gig tonight. Weird. Hey, our big movie tonight, ladies and gentlemen, stars Jason Momoa as Aquaman, and it's out now. And yeah. And I was simply about to say, congratulations on this, because often in these DC films, there's kind of connected to other DC worlds, and but this is a totally kind of stand-alone, big, just you movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Graham. It's very exciting. I don't think we've ever been underwater quite like this. I mean, we went to space in many movies, and this is something that's very new, and technology and the CGI is at a whole nother level, and I think people will be really excited about it.
So this has been a while coming, because when did you actually get told you are Aquaman?
I just found it September 23rd, 2013, and I was literally broke. And I knew that my future would be bright. But I couldn't say anything to anyone for years. I can't hold a secret to save my life if you knew me. It was like, it was very hard for me to hold a secret. And, you know, finally we're here. But, yeah, 5 years, almost 6 years.
But it didn't take that long to make it.
No. It had to go to, like, Batman versus Superman in one scene. Then it's Justice League, and now it's finally me.
Yeah.
Yes, every scene.
It's my time.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I'm saying, Dame? Yeah.
We don't often have guests squealing.
I'm trying to hold back.
And this film is going to put to bed all those things about Aquaman, because Aquaman up to this point in the DC world, well, it was a slight figure of fun.
Yeah. They made fun of him, and I was hired to, which I feel like I should win an award.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. You should win an award.
Took the lamest superhero and kind of made him cool.
Yeah, because in
Slightly.
because in the comics he was not that cool. This is.
Can you imagine
Different
when Zack Snyder told me you're gonna play Aquaman, and that's the image that went through my head?
And even worse, you might have seen this picture. I mean.
Times are changing.
Yes, they are.
Times are changing.
No, because it's the whole kind of origin of where Aquaman came from.
It is. You get to see what he went through as a child and his mother, Nicole Kidman.
She was here a few weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you get to see where he comes from, and I think a lot of people can relate to it in this day and age. There's a lot of...
And also what's great is, and you watching it must have had the same kind of thrill that we do, because it's worlds we haven't seen before. You're blowing them up, but we haven't seen them before. And presumably when you watch the film, you're thinking, oh, I didn't know that was going to look like that.
Yeah, it's even better because I haven't seen it yet, so it's going to be like... Wait a minute. You are the star of a movie and you haven't bothered to watch it yet. Here's the thing.
Why?
I have 2 babies that are 10 and 11. They were with me the whole time, and they promised me I wouldn't watch it until I saw it with them.
Oh.
So they're so cute, and they were there with me the whole time, and I'm like, I promise. You guys will see it before all of us.
Yeah.
But my little crazy, they're on set with me, and I want to hold their hands, and it's such a rare moment of being a father where you can...
That is so cute.
Especially for me, because generally you can't watch the things that I do. None of your children should watch what I do.
This is lovely.
I made a solid profession out of that, and I just feel like, you know, this is something I want to share with my children.
And just in case we get letters, I should, well, I hope, say, you haven't actually tattooed your children.
They look quite tattooed.
Graham, I haven't tattooed my children.
That's all right.
Those are stickers.
Oh,
You're disappointed.
Yeah. I was thinking, that's pretty cool, actually. Yeah. My son will be watching that going, when are you going to tattoo me? I want to get a tattoo like that. Yeah.
Well, look, let's see you in action. Now, this is you in a submarine, and you're tackling a modern-day pirate. So this is a rare moment where you're dry.
Yes.
Here we go.
I've waited a long time for this. Am I supposed to know who you are? I scavenged the high seas. You're the Aquaman. We were bound to meet at some point. Let's not make it happen.
Whoa. You seen some of it?
I haven't seen that scene.
Yeah. And presumably that was one of the easier scenes to film.
Yeah, that was definitely the easier scenes.
But the underwater stuff, so explain it to me. So did they ever think, OK, we're going to film this in huge water tanks, or was it always going to be done in different ways?
After the first movie, Batman and Superman, we couldn't film it underwater. It's impossible. So, yeah, we have to be in wire work all the time in harnesses, and it's...
So you had to learn how to go through water.
It's very magical.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Isn't that nice? Very soft flowing hands. Excuse me, I'm going to go this way.
Yeah, how did they get your hair like that?
That's
if you weren't in
CGI.
water. Oh, as well.
Yeah.
See, I'm thinking, so wire work, you kind of think Peter Pan, da-da-da, but, like, you're a big bloke. That's a lot to be hanging in a wire.
Yeah, you're going to take all this weight and put it right here. Yeah. I apologize, Dan.
That's fine.
I apologize, Dan. I meant my femoral artery. My femoral artery.
Your
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm a
Because when they say, yes, well, they put you in the harness. I'm sure you had to be in a harness, right?
I have, yeah.
So, you know, when you keep your legs open, you're like, ooh, that's all right. But then when they say action, you have to, like, squeeze it together. So you don't look like you're on a wire.
Yeah.
And that cuts off the blood, and that cuts off the blood to your head, and then you're like,
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Oh, right, so you...
Yeah, well, I'll hang you up there for 5 minutes, see how you feel.
I won't. But actually, no, you say, has Darcey done wire work? She has done wire work.
Yeah, you squeeze those legs in, and it cuts in.
Yeah, I hung from the closing ceremony of the Olympics, from the top of the arena.
We've got a picture. We've got a
Flew
picture.
me
Here we
in.
go.
Yeah.
There you are.
The freakiest thing I'd ever done with pyrotechnics, hanging over the Olympic flame. With
Have we got a long shot of what you're... Here you are. Oh, there you are. There's the Olympic flame.
Yeah,
which I'd forgotten it looked like a sort of burning hedgehog. I didn't remember it being like that.
I know, and being hung above it, like you saying, being hung for a while.
Yeah.
Because they got me in the harness far too early, all nervous, because we only had one chance to do it. And so I'm hanging over this flame, and all the hot vapours, and I was swaying around, going, oh, my God, just set me off. You know, I just wanted to get away from the flame, because you have this urge to unbuckle yourself and
run away from people that are hurting you. Yes, I totally feel that.
But talking underwater things, you look at Bill Bailey. I don't immediately think adventurer, and yet you have what?
Why not? What, do you think I'd spend my time whittling or something? You know? Bird watching, sitting in the woods.
That, yes.
Well, I do a lot of that as well.
Oh, OK.
But you're saying you don't see me as a sort of an...
But haven't you gone diving with sharks?
I have done. I've recently dived with sharks.
And how did that go?
Scuba dive with shark, yeah, it was very cool. It was scary, obviously, because they're sharks. And
natural habitat.
In a natural habitat, yes. No, yeah, well, there's... I got the sharks ordered up to the hotel room. No, yes, in the ocean, not in the bath. They're sitting in the bath. No, they were Damien Hirst. They were preserved sharks. No, they were real, in the sea. I got in the sea with them.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it's kind of scary, because when you look at them from the surface, they don't look that big. It's when you get in the water with them, then you realise, no, they're a lot bigger. They're a lot bigger than I thought. And I was diving with them. The dive instructor said, let's not do it. And I said, come on, it'll be fun. Anyway, so we were kneeling on the surface of the seabed, and the sharks coming towards you. And it's really intimidating. They move in such a dynamic way. And I tried to stand up to take a picture, and my fin got caught on the seabed, and it flicked up a lot of detritus. And all the sharks, there was about 12 sharks, suddenly looked straight at me and came right towards me. And I backed away like this, bumped into the instructor, thought it was a shark, freaked out, nearly spat my goggles out. I mean, it was just it's quite scary. And I had a GoPro on a little pole, and I thought, I'll see if I can film the shark as it comes towards me. And the shark got the GoPro in its mouth and took a little nibble at it. So I've got some fantastic footage of the inside of a shark's mouth. Wow. Yeah.
So you weren't in a cage?
No, not in a cage, no.
That does seem suicidal.
No, they weren't great whites. They weren't big, you know, they were reef sharks, they were smaller.
And you never go in the morning or late at night, because that's feeding time, supposedly.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I was offered a chance to go in the cage, but it was I didn't want to take it because it said cut price shark diving, right? And, you know, it was a cheap deal. I thought, of all the things you want to... I don't mind spending an extra couple of quid on this. I'll have the deluxe shark diving option, you know?
Twig cage.
Yeah, it was in South Africa, it was in Cape Town. And it was like, yeah, you can go down. It's cheap, you know, it doesn't cost very much. And I was thinking... I was trying to imagine what it'd be, like a wheelie bin and a shopping trolley. Yeah. When the shark comes near, hit it with a golf putter. You know, they hate that. You know.
Very good. And so Aquaman, your standalone movie, I like that, you know, you're going around the world now and you're meeting all your fans, and I guess there's two ways to do it. You can kind of go, oh, God, this is awful. Or you can find ways to make it fun for yourself.
Yes.
And you have found quite a fun thing to do when particularly couples ask you for photographs. Explain what you do.
Well, a married couple comes up and they want to take a picture, and then generally it's the woman that wants to get the hug, and then they want me to push their husband away. Or, like, kick him in the face, and so I do it, but sometimes it's the man, and, you know, it's...
Well, we've got some examples. Here you are. This is... That's generic. But, like, he's like doing some acting. This is just tragic, this next one. Because I feel like he just got a girlfriend, and now what? he's properly upset. Do you have another one? Oh, look at that. Oh. Beautiful. Check that out. And this last one is kind of doubly cruel, because obviously she's killed a pet dog, and but you're holding her, and you're not just pushing him away. When you signed the photograph, you signed over his face.
Yeah. That's you, the picture, literally. Yeah.
Well, yeah. We thought we might recreate.
Let's do one.
Yeah. So if you and Darcey, are you willing to be held?
Who am I?
You're
being held.
Yeah. You're my husband.
Yes, I'm the lord of whatever you are.
Stand up.
All right, OK.
So you're loving Jason. So you do something.
Yeah.
Right,
No, yes, and then Bill sulking.
OK. Ready? Okay. Like this. No. Hug.
Don't worry about the beer.
No, don't worry about the beer.
Oh.
Good. OK. We can just there we go.
Come here. Yeah, well, we'll see.
Now,
I think I've got a skull ring implant in my forehead.
Let me see that picture.
let's see it. Let's see it. Can we see it? Oh, there you go. Darcey's never looked happier. Now, Dame Darcey Bussell has a book, ladies and gentlemen. It's a beautiful thing. It's out now, and it's called Evolved. It's called Evolved. No, have a look. Yes, have a look.
Thank you.
It is... Basically, it's kind of 150 pictures spanning your career.
About 30 years, yeah.
Which is crazy, because you started so young.
Well, you have to start young. It's a short career as a dancer, isn't it? It's like being an athlete. You know, your body doesn't last.
Because actually, can I borrow this for 1 second?
Yeah,
Here we go.
absolutely.
There's a picture just here.
Sorry.
I didn't want you to get lost in the pictures. Forget where you were.
It's like a football.
No, because I didn't realise you were... So this is a gap kind of pain you did with Annie Leibovitz. And, like, how old are you here?
I'm actually about 23, 24.
Really? You look so young.
I look about 12.
Yeah. And even at this... You were a principal ballerina at this stage?
Yes, I was. Yeah, I was a principal at 20. So,
And is that the youngest ever?
No, it's not the youngest ever. I mean, for my generation.
Well, I don't understand. My head hurts. It's like, but were the sharks in their natural habitat?
They're in the woods.
They were in a grotto.
No, I mean, when the Royal Ballet first started, they did promote young dancers very early. But I suppose for my time, I was one of the youngest.
And I hadn't realised, you know, obviously you were a ballet dancer, you were in ballets, but you've done so much commercial work over the years. Like, there's an extraordinary ad. Does anyone remember that ad for American Express? I mean,
really difficult. Well, no, only because all the props. Because obviously nowadays you would just stick them all on, wouldn't you? You wouldn't have to.
Photoshop it on, yeah.
Photoshop them on. We actually had to, on a trampoline. I had to do this like 100 times, so it didn't kill my legs, so that I could work the next day. But it was the raincoat, the umbrella. So you know, when it suddenly went over your head, and all these issues constantly going wrong. So that's what's important.
Yeah, because you look at some of these pictures, and it's so beautiful. I mean, there's no trampoline here. This is you in Swan Lake.
Yeah, that's when I first did Swan Lake, when I was about 20, yes.
I mean, amazing.
No, thank you.
And in we were saying in photographs, it looks so graceful and beautiful.
Yeah, but you always have to make it effortless.
But it is such a demanding, gruelling occupation. Like, tell us about the time. I think, were you in Israel with the heat?
Yes, well, yeah, just working. Well, we rarely perform outdoors, but in Israel it was amazing. We were there on tour, and it was so hot that we weren't allowed. We couldn't basically rehearse when the sun was up. We had to wait until the sun went down, because the lino that we perform on melts in the heat, and also our point shoes start to melt. So even in the show, it was such a hot night, and my point shoes before the 32 Fouettes famous thing in the Black Act of Swan Lake, they literally were just melting with the heat, and you're literally on your knuckles trying to get through 32 times.
Oh, I mean,
it sounds gruesome, but it was okay.
But are people just watching you bleed and going, "Oh, it's very good"? It sounds ghastly.
No, I mean, a lot of it is the pressure we put on ourselves, and you know, there's a lot. It's a 3.5-hour ballet, so it's a lot of work to go ahead. And we had another act after that, and I was just panicking that my shoes weren't going to make it. So yeah.
And very quickly, we must just mention, of course, Strictly, the grand final tomorrow night.
I know.
And this series has been, you know, it's been great, fabulous dancing, wonderful production values, all of that. But there's been an awful lot of scandal this year.
We'll probably know more than there usually is.
Well, we've heard about more of it. What are you trying to tell us?
It kind of... yeah, the stuff you don't hear about. No, no, I think the show always gravitates. I think because there's so many people that watch it, you can't help but bring out something.
But I don't understand. I mean, so, for instance, next year, if they're trying to get a married person to compete in it, what tips would you give them to not have something unfortunate happen?
Well, I'm only there to judge, but... no, I don't... God, I wouldn't know. I mean,
Why does it happen? Why can't they just understand this is dancing, nothing
Dancing,
more.
Nothing more than dancing. I think it's just an unusual thing for people. When they think somebody's being tactile, they're obviously coming onto them, where actually that's our job as dancers, to be tactile, and it's not unnormal for us, but people get the wrong idea.
Yeah. So if two dancers are together in a studio, it mightn't happen. But chuck a
Because
civilian
we're
in.
used to it. We're used to it.
Well, that's it,
and
because,
other people get the wrong idea. You wouldn't get the wrong idea.
You'd be very close to someone you're working with. You're, as you say, you're being held by someone.
Being held a lot and partnered and, manoeuvred.
It's quite a sensual thing, dance, anyway.
Yeah, and so I suppose if it's really unusual for somebody to be in that sort of company or be that close to somebody, they take it the wrong way.
Would you ever do it, Jason? Do you dance?
Dancing with the Stars is that.
Well, I'm Hawaiian. We invented the hula, so, you know.
You're a natural dancer.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've always danced.
My mama raised me. She's like, if you can't dance, you can't beep.
Oh. I guess that's why it happens.
Yes. Well,
Your mother has solved the problem.
I wouldn't have, my mum didn't say that
Well, I
to
think
me.
it's a very... Well, I'm American, so I mean...
Come on, Darcey, get out there.
Yes, darling, yes.
Very good. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we turn to Bill Bailey, currently in the West End.
Yes.
Yes. There's Paul. Your new show, Larks in Transit, you're at the Wyndham Theatre till the 5th of January, and then around the country. By the way, can I just say, if you ever die again, that's another very good obituary.
Yeah, that's right. I'm on my way.
So this show, if I'm right, it's kind of you giving an insight into the life of a touring comedian. Is that fair?
A little bit. Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's about sort of the years of touring around the world, and also where comedy takes you, the kind of jobs and sort of things you do that comedy can get you to do, all these kinds of things, that offers, like being on Strictly and all those kind of processes. And part of it is about... this show is very much about, you know, a combination of all of those things. You know, things like travelling, you know... it's been all around the world, this show. I mean, it's been up to the north of... It's been to the north, almost to the North Pole and almost to the South Pole. So it's been completely around the world.
So you go to odd places.
Yeah.
What were you doing in Estonia?
Estonia, this is the thing, right? Comedy is sort of... It's taken off in Europe. Like, Europe is the people have seen a lot of British language, English language comedy. They want to see it in the original language. And I used to do this show called Black Books. It was a sitcom. And, and some do that. Yes. And the thing is, this sitcom has sort of reached... It's kind of got quite a reach around Europe. And so what people do is when they see me, they don't say, oh, that's that bloke from that sitcom. They act out scenes from the show. And there's one particular scene which is very popular where I'm holding a neck massager to my breast and there's two rotating cones like this. And I'm holding this going, oh, look, Bernard, I'm a prostitute robot from the future. And I was in Estonia, I was in Tallinn in the airport, and I was going through the customs, and the customs official recognised me. And he pointed his mate and he goes, yeah, near the person, near the person. And he looked at me and went, yeah. Pointing, hey, Bernard, yeah. It is him. And, of course, I knew what he meant, but it freaks all the other passengers out. They think, is this an Estonian thing? Is this like a local custom?
Because, Darcey, you... Now, I mean, as a ballerina, did you get recognised, or do you... Presumably Strictly has now changed your level of...
Yeah, I've been on Strictly for 7 years now, so it
Is it 7 years already?
Yeah, it has changed things.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know, I suppose because I still go on public transport and everything, and they just don't believe that you, as a judge on Strictly, would go on public transport. And so people look at you and go, you really look like that judge on Strictly. And I go, oh, really, like that? And then, you know, they keep talking to you. Oh, my God, it's uncanny how you look like that judge. And then I say, I am. And they go, no, but you really look like that judge. I know I am. But it is the weirdest places.
But because what's odd is... So, Jason, it's been... Is it 8 years since you were in Game of Thrones?
I think so.
It's about 8 years since you were in Game of Thrones. But you still... But people still remember...
They won't leave me alone.
And is it true that, again, people made assumptions about who you were as an actor after that show?
Yeah, I didn't get much work after that one. Because what do you do with that?
doesn't speak English. He's not funny. He just hurts people. I played the character well, and yeah, it was a bit challenging after Game of Thrones.
And is that because people genuinely thought you couldn't speak English?
No, yeah. There was definitely people who were like, oh my God, you speak English. I'm like, yeah, I'm married to a really beautiful woman. I laugh, I smile, I have kids.
I'm not actually a Dothraki.
Yeah, I know. I'm a freaking actor.
Yeah.
And
Now, Bill also brings us a DVD. This is called Limboland, and it's out now. And this is...
that's a great picture.
Oh. This is... Am I right in thinking this is about things not measuring up to expectations?
Yeah, basically that's it, and there's sort of the gap between, hence the limbo. And a lot of this is about, again, things that have happened to me where you think something's, you know, you think this is going to be great, and then say it doesn't quite pan out like you're thinking. Like I went for somebody persuaded me to go to a spa, and I'm not a kind of spa sort of guy, you know. As you can probably tell.
There, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, my wife's going, no, that'd be great, it'd be great. And I'm like, yeah, it's not really me. I'm not a kind of spa type. Anyway, so I find myself in this spa, and then, you know, all the music playing and the candles, and then I was going to get a massage. And so there's a robe and a thing for your hair, a hairnet thing. So I get undressed, put the robe on, put the hairnet on, and then the masseur came through the door, and the first thing she did, she looked through out the door, she went... like that, which is not really what you want in a sort of like a massage, when a bit of relaxing, you know, like, hi, how's it... What? And apparently it's because it turns out it wasn't a hairnet, it was...
You had the knickers?
No, I had the disposable underpants.
Yeah! They do look like a shower
Yes,
cap.
they do look like... Thank you.
Yeah, they do.
Yes, exactly. And there were 2 holes in them for your ears. I thought, this is great. I've been sat there for... I was a bit bored, and I teased all my hair out through the holes. Got like, you know, Princess Leia's wizard uncle, you know.
Listen, we've got a clip from Bill's DVD, Limboland. Here it is.
Being online is very dangerous, you know? Being online, we're at risk from cybercrime. My email was hacked. Some hackers got in, they guessed Bill 123, and they got in. And they emailed my accountant. Now, some of you are thinking, you haven't got an accountant, Bill. What are you talking about? You keep all your money in a tree stump in the woods. And every midsummer's eve, you ask the wise old stag of the forest to tap out where I should invest it. But no, I actually have got an accountant. Well, I did have, and... they emailed her and asked her to transfer some money to an account in Turkey, a place I've never been, showed no interest. And she bloody did! She just handed it over! Now, what really annoyed me was the language that they used was so clearly not me. Hurry up, Julie, where is money? Send the money now, Julie, for Turkey House.
Very good. Right, it is time for music. This chart-topping girl band have sold over 45 million records worldwide, and last year they picked up their first Brit Award. Now they're back with their 5th album. Here performing the single Think About Us, it is Little Mix!
Dancing in the club, and the nights are getting hard. Do you think about us? Do you think about us? When the music gets so loud and the girls are all around, do you think about us? Do you think about us? 'Cause I do think about you when I'm up here in my hotel room. Need your love, don't know what I'm gonna do. My body's so hot, baby, missing you. One touch is all I want. I call my girls, we go down to the club. Walk through the crowd till I find my love. Look in your eyes and the whole world stop. Whoa, you put your hand on my waist, and then you pull me close. Boy, I promise I won't let go. Now dancing in the club, and it's fire when we touch. Do you think about us? Do you think about us? When we're deeper in the crowd, can you feel my body now? Do you think about us? Whoa.
dancers. Let's hear for them. Very good. Hello, darling. Lovely to see you again. And so welcome to the seat. Hello. Hi. Hi. Have a seat, too. Hello. Hello. Welcome aboard. Hello. Hello. Bill, Darcey, Jason. That's brilliant. There you go. Now, I think there'll be room for everyone.
Especially.
Yeah, I think there'll be room for everyone. Yes, so I feel like you've thrown your algorithms off because you're here.
No.
Norman. Oh, no, everyone's on. Everyone's on. Very good. Well done. Thank you so much for that little mix. It was fantastic.
Thank you for having us.
Really great performance. And good dancing, eh, Darcey?
Oh, that's superb.
Thank you.
Get into it. It's really good.
Yeah, no, did you see? Darcey and Jason were up dancing to you.
Oh,
Yeah, they were.
guys.
Now, that's from the new album, LM5, which is out now. And is it right that this was named by your fan?
Yeah, they called it LM5 for like about a year. And so we just went with it.
Yeah, well, might as well.
Yeah.
And there's lots of collaborations on here. Of course, we've already heard the Nicki Minaj track. This is you at the... Was it the EMAs?
Oh, yes. Look at it. Oh, she's got such a delicious bum.
It was
Epic. It is epic, her bum.
It's amazing.
It feels sensational.
Yeah,
And was she relaxed about you just resting on her bum?
I think so.
Well, we didn't rehearse it, did we?
Yeah, we never rehearsed it.
You even gave her a little spank, didn't you? You know what I mean?
Well, I thought it's now or never, isn't it?
Yeah, so you'd be able to get away with it, whereas, no.
Yeah, Bill Bailey at the EMA is slapping Nicki Minaj. It's a very different evening.
Totally different. The whole thing is different, yeah.
Really, the whole tone has changed.
Yeah, it's all kinds of lawsuits within...
So listen, we were talking about travelling and things, and I know that you guys, you're really popular in Japan. And I saw a thing that you can sing... You can't sing all your songs in Japanese, can you?
Not all of them.
Not all of them.
But can you give us a blast of, like, a hit we'll know in Japanese?
We can. Yes, we can.
Oh!
Something on the wing show.
Right, just
Go on then.
you first.
And also, can I just say, feel free, because we really won't know if you've got it wrong.
Go on then.
話しても傷つけない近い場所からじゃないと見ることできない世界一緒に見たくない
Oh my God! Oh, applaud that!
Oh, gosh.
That's amazing. I mean, it was gibberish, but the singing was lovely. No, I'm sure that was Japanese. I'm sure it was. And by the way, very quickly, I assume LM5 is going to spawn a new tour.
Yes. Next year, all year.
UK tour tickets are on sale now, so you know what to do, guys.
And then the rest of the world will roll out as we go. Well, listen, thank you so much for that performance, and thanks for the record, and good luck with the tour. Little Mix, everybody. Oh, good. I love the singing. Yeah, it sounded so good. Yeah, really good. Right, that is nearly it. Before we go, we have time for a visit to the big red chair.
Pretend like...
Oh, no, don't do that.
Daisy.
That's how accidents happen.
Oh, my goodness,
The lawyers will find you. The lawyers will... Where there's a claim, where there's a blame, there's a claim.
It really works.
Is she okay? You okay? Were those lady feet or men feet? They were lady feet. OK, we're just resetting. Yeah, OK, here she is.
You know what's coming. It better be good.
Sorry. sorry about that.
That's okay. That's thrown me off a bit, but it's
Trigger
all right.
finger. What's your name?
It's Beth.
Beth. OK, Beth, off you go with your story.
OK, so one year I was at Leeds Fest with a bunch of friends and we'd set up camp. It was the first day, lovely clean camp. And I was absolutely busting for a wee. As usual. So I didn't want to walk all the way to the toilet because it's miles away, absolute trek, and I was absolutely busting like
I saw it coming. In the future.
Yeah. You had a premonition.
You're boring here.
I feel like Jason's discovered a new power. Should we risk one more?
Yeah.
OK, here we go. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, who are you?
I'm Ellie.
Ellie, lovely. And what do you do, Ellie?
I'm an intelligence analyst for a private security company.
I believe you. It was the pause at the beginning. Like you were figuring out the question. OK, off you go with the story, Ellie.
So I'd been out for dinner with an ex-boyfriend and we'd had a bottle of wine, got a little bit drunk, went back to his house and it was the first time I'd stayed at his house, so I didn't know my way around. And I'm quite allergic to alcohol, so I needed to be sick in the middle of the night, but I didn't know where anything was, so I was sort of feeling along for the lights, couldn't find them. Went along the hallway and found what I thought was the door, pulled it towards me, and it was a cabinet of his mum's finest vintage china, which smashed, landed in my foot, blood everywhere, and then I threw up.
That was more our speech. How did I know?
There was vomit involved.
She was naked at the time. Bob, that was classic. OK, that really is all we've got time for. If you'd like to have a go at the red chair yourself and tell your story, you can contact us via our website. This is their address. Please say huge thank you to all my guests. Little Mix, everybody. Bill Bailey. Dame Darcey Bussell. And Jason Momoa. Join me next week with musical guests Boy George and Culture Club and the stars of Mary Poppins Returns, Emily Mortimer, Ben Whishaw, Lin-Manuel Miranda and Emily Blunt. I'll see you then. Good night, ready, bye-bye!
Starting off a winning weekend tomorrow with Sequins Aplenty. It's the Strictly final at 6:30. And on Sunday, you decide who'll be crowned the BBC Sports Personality of the Year at 7, here on BBC One.